What's up, guys? Jonathan. I'm here at my church right now. We just got finished with a Bible study. One of the guys was talking about how when we do things, we don't necessarily have to do them for ourselves. It's really to glorify God. And then another member spoke up and he said, you really gain spiritual freedom by what you do. And that really spoke to me because it made me realize that when we do things for the sake of doing them, we do gain something in return. That's that spiritual freedom. That's that energy. That's that power. That's that joy. That's that peace that we don't realize we have. See, a lot of us, we do things for the sake of getting things in return, like money, a car. We give someone a ride and we hope that they'll give us something in return later when we need a favor. We're constantly thinking about what people can give us, forgetting that when we do things for the sake of doing them, we are rewarded. We don't necessarily need something external. We don't necessarily need something to solve all our problems. It's the doing, it's the process, it's the joy of growing, of learning that really brings us to true fulfillment where we're constantly seeking. So for me recently, I've been really thinking about how I can be very selfish. I can think about myself. I'm so competitive sometimes. I want to achieve certain things. Now realizing that I forget about the other side of life. I forget about connecting with others. I forget about making a difference. Because you see, a lot of us, we're so caught up, we put our head down, we want to make a difference, we want to have impact, forgetting that we can have impact just by doing our day-to-day tasks, living our day-to-day lives. Most of us, we want to have this kind of impact of changing the world, forgetting that a lot of times it's not necessarily the quantity, it's the quality. It's the quality of the relationships, the quality in what you're doing, the quality of spending time in the relationships you have, whether it's with your mom, whether it's with your dad, whether it's with your girlfriend. That's why we constantly always hear the thing that if this helps just one person, that's all that really matters. And we say that, but we're still thinking about hundreds and millions and thousands of people that we can save or help, instead of just that one person that it's really all about. You see, it's doing things for the sake of doing them that you really learn that it's not about all these external things. It's not about people praising your name. It's not all about what you gain on the outside. It's really about what you gain on the inside. So that's something that I've really been learning lately, how I'm really so led by my flesh, by my body, what it wants, what it needs, forgetting about the spiritual things. And I was at a Bible study recently this weekend. They were talking about being led more by the Spirit, talking about how you're more than your flesh. That's what I really feel like God has been speaking to me, saying you're more than your body. You're more than what you see on your everyday life. You need to be more spiritual. So that's why I've been trying to be more intentional in saying I want to spend time with other people. I want to spend this time with my girlfriend when I can just be focusing on another video, focusing on a podcast, or focusing what I want to do at work. I can spend more time in spending time with friends, sacrificing, because that's what is going to bring me true fulfillment. You see, when we try to do things like give someone a ride or help somebody who needs help, a lot of times it's a huge sacrifice. A lot of times we don't want to do that. A lot of times we don't think that that's going to bring us joy. We don't think that that's quote unquote going to feed us because it doesn't seem right. It seems like what our flesh desires, what our body needs, it feels like we need that more. But no, it's really the spiritual things that brings you joy. It's really those spiritual things that make you see the bigger picture. It makes you get outside of yourself. You see, because when you're focused on what you really want to get done, it's really all you. It's really all that self-centered thinking. You're so closed in. And Mel Robbins, who's a professional speaker, she talks about how when you do things that energize you, you feel it. You're able to expand. But when you do things that are constantly for yourself, you get closed in. So that's where I've really been on lately, is doing things that are going to energize me. Even if I may not like it, even if it kind of makes me cringe a little bit, I'm thinking about the long-term aspect of it. If I go out and help this person, whether it's giving them a ride after work, I may not want to do it. I may just want to go straight home, but just the thought of, wow, I'm getting outside of myself, that energizes you. That brings you energy. A lot of times, we say we want to help a lot of people. A lot of times, we want to do so many things. We say we're doing videos, we're going to work, we're pursuing this profession, we're going to school to make a huge difference, to have this huge impact, forgetting that it's not necessarily always about going out and doing and trying to throw things at people, trying to throw knowledge and throw wisdom at them. It's about really being an example. And when you're an example, when you're walking and reflecting God, you're reflecting love, that brings not only joy and fulfillment to you, but it brings joy to others. Others start looking at you and saying, why is this man so peaceful? Why is this man so loving? Why is this woman so inspiring? Why is she so grounded in who she is? It's because she's being an example. It's because she's reflecting love. And that's what a lot of us need to do. A lot of us, we're just trying to fall in love with the notion of helping others, fall in love with this notion of being a certain person, but we're not really being that example. When people look at us, they don't really see that example. So that's really what I've been learning lately is I want to try to be that example. And if I want to try to be that example, I have to get caught up in more spiritual things. I have to start taking time for other people. I have to be more intentional in my lives and what I'm doing and who I'm spending my time with. Because you see, when you constantly get to yourself and you're focused on the image that you have and what you want, it kind of goes away from the image that and the vision that God really has for your life. So that's something that I've really been honing in on lately is how can I be that example? How can I get outside of myself? Where it's not just me focused on being a caricature of myself, wondering how am I looking to others? How am I perceiving myself? Am I helping 10, 20 people, 30 people a week? It's not about that. It's about the quality of the relationships. It's about the quality of being a human being and having people know that when they look at you, they see this kind of person that they want to be. They see you as an example. They see you reflecting love. They see you as being a light. So what I really, really want to hone in with this video is that it's not about external praise. It's not about people saying, wow, you're this amazing person. It's about doing things for the sake of doing it. It's about that process. It's about growing. It's about learning. It's about really being fed inside of what you're doing. Because a lot of us, we think we need external things. We think we need money for what we're doing. We think we need a job to define who we are. We think we need people to define who we are. But when we get out of that, and we get out that self-sabotage, that inside thinking, when we get out more of, I'm not focused on what they're saying, I'm not focused on what people are saying about me, I'm focused on the process, I'm focused on the joy. And when you're focused on that, that's when you're able to be a light. That's when you're able to be an inspiration, because people start looking at you and they see you have joy, they see you have humility, they see that you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to throw out the thousands and thousands of things you're doing. They just see you walking. And when you do things for the sake of doing them, that's when you'll change inside. That's when you'll be transformed. And that's what God really talks about. It's just not falling in love with these fleshly things, these, I need things on the outside. I need people to validate me. No, you're validated by the things that you do and what you feel inside. It's not about you're validated and now let me receive something in return, let me receive praise. No, it's about doing something and really feeling like you're on the right path, really feeling spiritually fed, really feeling like you're growing, really feeling like you're becoming that man or woman that you need to be. And that's what it's really all about. So I really, really want to encourage you guys to know that you don't need anything on the outside to validate you. You don't need to focus on helping thousands and thousands of people when it's only making you miserable inside, when really all you're really thinking about is yourself. A lot of us, we get crammed up. I want to focus on this video. I want to write this book. I want to make this music. And it's just us. And it's just us, and we're stuck in our own heads. We're stuck in our own world, forgetting that there's the outside too. You can't help people when you're pretending. You're stuck in your zone, but you're not really getting outside yourself and really helping people and really being relational and really having those quality relationships. That's what it means to really focus on spiritual things. It's to really take advantage, to really have quality over quantity, to stop thinking so long term, to stop thinking so I want to help so many people and say, you know what, I'm going to help this person right here. I'm going to do what I need to do that's going to make me feel fulfilled. And that's what it's really all about. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. Take care, guys, and God bless.